Good morning, welcome back, and it is a good day. It's going to be a hot one though, so we're going to try to get this little project done before the heat comes. This is the first load of a 10 by 20 shop that we're going to be building over at the son's house in Portland, and picked this up last night. Home Depot is going to deliver the rest in a couple days, but this is the joist flooring package. Got the 2x6 pressure treated, and then the 4x8 by 3/4 pressure treated plywood. He wanted to build a garage that he could park his truck in, but the city of Portland made it so complicated and so aggravating to get the permits. He finally gave up on the whole process, decided to go with a smaller shed that doesn't need to be permitted, 10 by 20, need no permits from the city. It's gonna go right here. We just finished staking out the concrete blocks. We got our 8 level points there. We're going to have the back wall sitting on that old concrete slab, which was fairly level, and we'll start cutting all the 2x6 joists and get it started. Well, this is the end of the first day. Didn't get a lot done till the sun worked us right out of a job. It's too dang hot, up in the 90s, and it is too hot for me. So we were able to unload the 3/4 pressure treated plywood and separate it because it was soaking wet. So it'll be a good thing to get it dry. We're able to finish the joist. We got it all leveled up. We got it squared up, and we'll be ready for the first sheet of plywood to glue down tomorrow morning. So for first day, this is not bad since we only got a half a day in, and we'll go for day 2. Stay tuned. What's next day? We put in a couple hours till we ran out of material, and we finished decking the joist framing. Turned out pretty nice, pretty square. But in fact, it's very square. 268 5/16 corner to corner. But it's pretty stable. That 3/4 inch plywood really does stiffen up a joist frame. We glued it all down, nailed it all down, galvanized ring shanks, and it shouldn't be going anywhere. We also laid out the 612 rafters here. I don't know if you can see it. Those are the pencil marks. We're going to come in a 1/2 inch from the edge of the plywood with the OSB, so then we can side all the way down the joist here, so we're not looking at that PT rim joist. So that'll look good. That's about all we can do till we get some wood from Home Depot. That's supposed to come Saturday sometime, so that is a day. We'll see you on the next one. Not flush though, you want it set.
No, I meant like...
Yes, flush there, yeah.
What are you doing today?
Well, actually, we spent most of the morning moving the material from the sidewalk into the backyard, and now we're just starting to frame up the one wall, put some sheeting on it. Well, it's a couple days later. Didn't film so much the last 2 days. Got my son and daughter-in-law standing there trying to get out of the picture. That's Braden and Anna, and that is the little shed. Got all 4 walls up. It's all sheeted. Starting to build the rafters. Looking good. Getting there. A little jig screwed down on the floor. We're putting the rafters in it, putting the gussets in it, and collar ties on it. We'll lay them upside down on the plates and then just start. We've got top plates already laid out. Got the 2 end gables plumbed up. That one ended up plumb when we nailed it. This one needed a little persuasion to get plumb. So it got plumb. So yeah, we'll just continue building our little rafters here, or trusses, and get this thing, hopefully, at least the rafters up in the air before the sun comes. It's gonna be 100 degrees today, so we'll probably end before the sun gets on us. So yeah, we'll update. We'll keep you updated on the next one. Well, it is the next day. I'm gonna be riding solo. Braden's got some classes, some testing or certifications he's got to do today. So I'm going to start setting these rafters slash trusses. We got them all built last night. There's 14 of them hanging up on the top plate here. Jig worked out really well. Real well. Helped out a bunch. Set the first one just a couple minutes ago. It worked pretty good. Got a little spacer board for laying out the tops of the rafters, and then the top plates have all the layouts on them too. So I'll just pin them with a nail just to temp them in place, and hopefully they'll stay there. It's supposed to be 100 degrees today, so I'll work till it gets too hot. So I'll throw it in a little hyper lapse and see what it looks like. Well, it's been a day or two since I did any updates, so we got a little bit done. Obviously the felt paper is on. Finished up the barge boards and the trim boards. Got the fascia boards on. Got the roof sheathing on. Really, the roof went together really well. We must have been plumb because everything laid out real square. Hurricane straps are on. Framing is pretty much done. Weather was not the greatest. It was hot, really hot. but it turned out really nice. So we got corner boards. Got to do some repair on a door. They bought a French door, but the frame's got a big crack in it, so I've got to repair that. Got a couple windows to put in, and that's about it. We'll move on from there. Give you another update in a day or two. Into day 13, a little cooler today, not in the upper 90s like it's been for the most of this build, but got the door in. It's swinging good lines on it. It did kick my butt for about 2-3 hours today. Couldn't bend the framing, had to be the door. And what else? We did get half the roof on today. Turned out good. First bundles we got, the color just didn't look right, so we took those back and they picked up a little darker color. They call it black onyx, and it looks really good. It's going to match up with the house real good. So tomorrow I think I'll finish the other side and then start doing corners and window wraps. See if we can get this thing ready for siding and be done with it. We'll give you another update in a day or two. Day 15 of the shed build. It's now called a cottage because it doesn't look like a shed. I think the French doors had something to do with that, but it is coming along. Got the roof all done. Got the windows and doors wrapped with the trim boards. Set the elevation all the way around with siding boards. Did start this side with siding. Got up to the windows. Looking really good. Way too good for a shed. Yeah, it's nice. I'm using a couple tools that are really making the siding go well. One's called Geckos, which are little clamps that hook on the bottom of the siding. We'll show those tomorrow. They work out really well. And then to cut this stuff, since it's hardy plank, it's a cement board product, kicks up a lot of dust if you use a saw. So they make a set of shears that you can basically chuck up in your cordless drill motor, and it just cuts them like a shear. And we'll show that little detail tomorrow too. But yeah, both those tools really make this siding work well. Nice straight line. Did screw up on the layout of the windows. Before I built the window ROs, I should have measured up from what I thought was the bottom of the siding down there. And since I got 7-inch reveals, I should have set the window at a multiple of 7 inches from that point, instead of having this little 1/2-inch strip that I got to put in there. But it'll look good. And we already cut those with the shears. It was able to rip those little 7-inch strip, or 1/2-inch strips rather. So yeah, looks good. Hopefully it'll look a little more done tomorrow, and we'll give you an update. Well, here's another update on the little cottage, formerly known as the shed. It's a hot one today. Right now I think it's about 97, 98 degrees. A little too warm for the old man to be working. Started early this morning, got this face up to the bottom of the vent, and a lot of work in that little wall. A lot of notches, a lot of measuring. But it's getting there. Just got a few more courses up there. This shaded side, I got 4 rows. Still got another 10 to go up. Might as well take you around back. Back is up to the top plate. Still got the gable and vent to put in back here. And then the west side, pretty much got all of it done. It's all caulked. Still have the last little 7-inch rip to go up there. But all in all, coming together pretty good. Probably, well, I can only work a partial day tomorrow, and I won't be here the next day, so maybe Wednesday we'll get this thing finished as far as siding goes. going to trench for power right here over to the house over there. We'll get a trencher and have an electrician come in. He'll run the conduit, get power in there. So we've got plugs and lights, nothing big and fancy. Yeah, the vent was pretty cool. I like that. It's two-piece with a nail-on fin. It's plastic, but it went in really nice. Light boxes are ready. Just need a 4-inch hole saw to punch for the light box. Flash the top of the trim. And yeah, a lot of work. But I'll give you another update in a day or two. This is, I think, the 3rd week. Just finished 3 weeks working on it. And now that we're all pretty much done with the siding turned out really nice. But not without the help of a couple little tools. A couple items that really made it, for me at least, a lot cleaner, safer to do and whatnot is that little tool there. That's a shears for hardy plank, and it's made by Pac Tool. The model number, oh, it looks like SS724 Pac Tool Snap Shear Pro, and those things are amazing. They really are worth every dime. I think I paid 77 bucks on Amazon, but it cut this stuff with very little dust. You could do radiuses, because I had to do radiuses to trim around that. It may look like an octagon, but on the back side of it, it's a round gable vent. So I was doing radiuses with that, and it worked really well. Super nice. Highly recommend it if you're ever doing this stuff. Unless they got a better dust-free tool, I'm not aware of it. And that thing was about as dust-free as you can get. So once we got the boards here, we just had 2 stacks. We just brought them in, you know, one at a time, made 2 stacks here, and this is where I've cut all the boards just one at a time. With these shears, you just slide your board back, slide a block under your cut line, grab your shears, and you can line up, you know, you got left side and the right side, and of course you got your line. Depending on what side of the line, I try to take the line, so I'll line it up. You know, I want this board here, it's cut to a certain length to there. I take that pencil line as I have it on the left side of the cutter there. And the shearing is just not much movement. I don't know if they get dull. They haven't got dull on us, but we haven't really used it much, just this little job. But I'm sure you can replace them. Line it up. And as you notice, very little dust, a little bit, but not terrible. Take your little curly fries and throw them in a box to keep them together, and that's your cut piece. Pretty simple. And so these are some of the radius cuts I was able to do with it. I mean, that's a pretty good radius. Just to give you an example of it. And I think it'll do a tighter radius than that too. Yeah, try doing that with a 4-tooth hardy plank blade on a skill saw. No thank you. So highly recommended. 5 stars. Wouldn't do a hardy plank without it. So, and then the other tool we use, same company, Pac Tool. They're called Geckos. I think they've been around for a while now, but they hold the siding boards up level. They're pretty cool. We got a little clamp here, and they hook onto the lap board that you just put up. You just push it up tight where it's seated nice and tight there. It's got this clamp here, and you bring your next siding board, slip it down into that notch, it rests there, and with two of them, you know, it presets your exposure on your lap board. We're having to do 7-inch, but it's fully adjustable. It'll do probably any exposure that you need on your siding board. So yeah, with the geckos and those shears, it really made this job easy. Pretty sweet. Here's your 2 factory edges. The geckos set your elevation, and that's pretty level. Put a nail in it and it's good. Very helpful. I can do a lot of this myself, a little slower, but one man can do it. Yeah, that's about it for now. The last day, or almost the last day of the build of the cottage, formerly known as the shed. We got all the siding on, about 90% of the caulking. We ran out of some caulking. Got to go pick that up, and I'll come over tomorrow and mask and get it ready for paint. But the build portion is complete. Roof, siding, caulking, windows, doors. Even got a little start on electrical last night. He should finish up tonight. A friend of Braden's is doing it. He's helping him do it. Got the other gable vent up here. Got some wedges gluing the tail ends of those siding boards. The day has come. We're finally done with what started to be the shed, now is the cottage. It turned out really nice. Got everything cleaned up. They've sort of moved in. Finished the Trex deck with the repurposed deck boards. Came off of a handicap ramp of a gentleman who lived in Bend, and he moved back to town, so his family was able to pull his handicap ramp off his trailer, and we repurposed it. Did a neat detail on the sides. We used the cement board hardy planks, ripped them to the angle, and then just painted them to match the best we could the deck. But it looks good. Inside it has your standard shed handle hardware. Pretty nice. And he's got lights in here. He's got quite a bit of power. Got lights, porch lights, outlets, all sorts of outlets. Got the gable vents in, got LED lights in. He's got a fan he wants to put there, and a fan at the other end, where we'll hopefully be able to get some cross ventilation here and get the heat out of here. It's pretty warm when it gets hot. Gonna put a little loft up here, put a 2x8 across here, maybe 6-7 feet tall, and then just deck it with some leftover 2x4 joists and the OSB plywood that he had left over. So that'll give him some more storage up there. We just brought the workbench in here that we were working on. It's a nice bench, got nice sturdy sawhorses and 4x8 timbers with a 3/4 plywood, pressure treated no less. So that's a nice little temporary workbench. But yeah, it's nice. Got some windows for lights, and it really does match the home. Home's really nice. Pretty blue, and they were able to match the blue almost spot on. I like the roof. I like the way it came out, the color of it. But yeah, it was a fun project. Took about a month, but well worth it, and way cheaper than even buying a tough shed or or having a larger one built. So yeah, that's it. We'll move on to the next project, and thanks for hanging out. I'll see you on the next one.